everybody, and welcome to a Just Enough Heshy show. Today we have a full house. It's a wonderful show. We have the Honorable, Holy Reverend Kevin McCall. Thank you for so much for coming to our show.
Thank you for inviting me.
We're honored. One of the one of the most honorable clergy in New York City. I would say across the country, but I'm happy I got him, and he's part of my city, so he belongs to me, and we'll let him share with the rest of the country. Of course, we have my beautiful Sawyer, who has his hair is gorgeous.
Hi, great
I just
to be
want
here.
you all to know that I hung out with Sawyer the whole week. Every day she was screaming at me in the car, screaming at me. Really, Ezra, I want to sue her. She also talks to herself. Really, she starts talking to somebody in the car, but not to me. I love you, Sawyer. Anyways, we have my wonderful legal. This is Reverend. This is our legal advisor, Ezra Levy. He is the one who helped me, with your mayor, not mine, get me off the hook and got me some kind of a crazy deal. I love you, Ezra. And then, of course, we have Edwin De La Cruz. He's running for 10th City Council, the 10th District, a Republican, and you see I love him. Hello, how are you doing, Edwin?
Hi, how are you?
Good. We have a lot to talk to you about because we have the Reverend here, and you better be good to him when you get elected because me and the Reverend not going to be happy with you. But anyways, we're going to start our show tonight. We're going to make it quick, Sawyer, because we have a whole bunch of people here. We have a
Our
full
wonderful
house.
sponsors, High Tech Web Group. Have you been pushing off remodeling or creating a website? Well, now you don't have to any longer. Let High Tech Web Group's team of professionals construct your site with skill and precision. You can reach High Tech Web Group at 212-235-2777. That's 212-235-2777. Check out their website at info@hightechwebgroup.com. Call High Tech Web Group today so you can experience a whole new world of business.
Thank you,
212-235-2777. We also have Plaza Auto Leasing.
And how good are they?
They're awesome.
Right,
They're
they're
awesomely awesome, and I'm going to tell you in a minute why. First, let me get through this. They're not only a leasing company, but also a dealership. You get the best of both worlds. The flexibility to lease or buy any vehicle, make, or model, combined with quick service, huge inventory, and easy approvals. There is no finance manager to meet with, just a friendly pal sales representative that can handle most of the transaction from start to finish without you even having to step foot in their office. All you have to do is place your order and they will even deliver your car right to your door. What are you waiting for? Become a pal and call Plaza Auto Leasing today. You can reach Plaza Auto Leasing at 718-975-9000. You can also check out their website at www.plazaautoleasing.com, located at 2750 Nostrand Avenue on the corner of Nostrand Avenue and Avenue N. Call 718-975-9000 and become a pal today. And don't forget to tell them Uncle Heshy sent you. Heshy, what's happening tomorrow? Something really exciting.
Tomorrow I get my car, Reverend.
Getting his new car from Plaza Auto Leasing.
Ezra has like 14 children, so we can't do nothing for him, you know what I mean?
30 last year.
Whatever, 30. My car keeps breaking down, and my wife has threatened to kill me if I don't get a new car. So I'm scared of her. 32 years, Reverend.
Yes.
I was going to come to you for help, but there's no way you can help me. Anyways, I'm getting my new car tomorrow.
And you're giving in the other one because they take care of their customers.
And I'm going to make fun of Plaza Auto Leasing tomorrow. Green Line Building Solutions.
Preservation, Development, Fire Department, Criminal Court, Department of Finance, Environmental Control Board settlements, Building Consulting, Violation Removal, Construction Management, Owner Compliance, Contracting, Licensed Department of Building Expediters, Designs, Professionals for all your building solutions. 202 Foster Avenue. You can reach Green Line Building Solutions at 718-871-0382. That's 718-871-0382.
And of course, that's my company, and I've been saving a lot of people's behinds. So you just keep calling me. Ezra here is screaming at me. I didn't get his permit. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Mr. Super.
We have, I'm sorry, we have Traveler's Choice.
Okay, whatever you want to say.
Joseph and Devora Lifer, they're going to get you all your local and international travel, your car rentals, your hotels, everything from A to Z for all your travel needs. You can reach Joseph and Devora Lifer at 212-868-8698, 212-868-8698. Traveler's Choice is your only choice for traveler.
And then, of course, we have... Can we go Mr. Super now or not? What do you want to do next?
We can do Mr. Super. He's fantastic.
Go ahead.
And if your husband promised to do a lot of stuff and he didn't do it, then you need to call up your other husband, Mr. Super. He will do all your repairs, your cabinets, your furniture, your light fixtures, sink repairs, toilet snaking,
We got it,
shelf
Sawyer.
installation, everything your husband promised to do and didn't. You can reach Mr. Super at 718-218-5555. That's 718-218-5555. You should put it in your phone and call it hubby number 2.
You can also call him to be a super of your building. If you have small buildings, he's very good and he's wonderful. And then
Oh,
we
I
call-
heard they also have like arrangements to take to maintain the outside of your property
Correct.
and.
But let's go to the
garbage.
most important commercial tonight. Ezra Levy, attorney at law. Ezra, what's your phone number, Ezra?
917-755-1187. That's 917-755-1187. He will take care of all your criminal and family court, orders of protections, defense, weapons possessions, drug offenses, domestic violence, theft offenses, assaults, DWI. Heshy, what did I leave out?
Any crime I handle. Okay.
You know, Ezra, you should be talking more, okay? You can't let Sawyer talk more than you. What's his phone number?
I think he's afraid of me.
I know.
He needs a criminal defense attorney.
Go ahead.
917-755-1187.
And then we have Baruch's Barbershop, 108 Avenue I. What a wonderful barber. By the way, Reverend, if you need a good barber, he's my fisher. He cuts out all my white hair. I know you're younger than me, but he cuts out my white hair. I look good. I like color it at night when nobody's looking. My wife pays $7. Not like these women, $400 they spend. My wife's crazy. $400. I almost had a heart attack. For $7, I get my hair colored back. I don't know. Or
He's
doesn't
the
like me.
official singing barber of Heshy Tischler. You can reach Baruch's Barbershop at 718-758-5187, or you can call, text, or WhatsApp Baruch personally to schedule your appointment at 347-845-9131. That's 347-845-9131, or just stop on in at 108 Avenue Y and go get your haircut.
Anyways, we're going to start our show tonight, but I'm going to do my quote first. And this quote, I was doing a lot of research. I've been saving this quote. It's just for my wonderful Reverend Kevin McCall. He's a wonderful man, and this is what I want to talk about him. This is for him. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. The time is always right to do what is right. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends, by the great Reverend Martin Luther King. This, Reverend, I'm not trying to build you up, but what I've seen over the last year and a half of what you've done, who you've helped, how you call people in the middle of the night, you never rest. May God bless you, which I know he will. And, you know, all of us are jealous of you because you're going to take away all the holy place in our heaven. I know I'm fat. I'm not going to get in. But that's because of you. You're not giving me even a little bit of room. You're a good man. May God bless you every minute. We're going to fight with you in a minute because we have a lot to ask you because we need help and we need more help than we get.
Heshy.
Yes.
Did you get any parking tickets this week? No, it must have been a good week for you because you forgot Attorney Office of James Meadows.
Oh, we did. James
Highly
Meadows.
ranked traffic lawyer, former criminal lawyer dedicated to all moving violations throughout New York State. James handles all points-related moving violations in New York City, Long Island, and upstate New York. Speeding, red lights, cell phone. We don't want to go through all the tickets that Heshy gets. Improper turns, everything, stiff penalties. You can reach James Meadows at 845-TICKETS. That's 845-842-5387 or 845-TICKETS. We also have a new advertiser just in time for the Sukkah holiday.
By the way, Reverend, on the sukkah, we have the outside sukkah. I know you know what it is, the
Yes.
little tent. So we stare at these blank, boring walls.
Little huts for the
Little huts.
Sukkot holiday
Yes.
outside.
So what we
That's
have
what
is
it
this guy, mysukkahwall.com. You don't need to stare at your plywood or plastic slates this year. He has a wonderful wall murals. I got a whole bunch of them to transport yourself to Jerusalem or any oasis or anywhere your mind takes you. Please, everybody, go to email him or WhatsApp him. Or
Go to
WhatsApp him.
mysukkahwall.com. That's mysukkahwall.com. And order anything you want.
can
I
even-
think
you
they
can-
deliver.
They do.
They deliver, and I think you could do custom orders.
Yeah, you can do custom orders.
I'm wondering, can you do like a picture of your whole family?
I don't want to put my family in there. My wife is enough. I bother. I see pictures of her above my bed. MYSUKKAHWALL.com, mysukkahwall.com. Now, I just want to give you my joke for the day. It's about Linda. I make fun of her every week, Reverend, and I know you're not going to like it. The Reverend specifically told me you're not allowed to make fun of women. Reverend, you're wrong. My wife
I
told me-
think it's his expression of his love for her.
Anyways, here's what happened. I started a new workout. I'm on a diet. I'm really trying to do a diet. And I go over to Linda. Linda, I'm doing crunches twice a day. And of course, my wife with her mouth says, you're doing Captain Crunch in the morning and Nestle's Crunch at night. I know. So Linda's not too bright. Anyways, we're going to start our show. My wife, 32 years. She tortures me, Reverend. I want to ask you a question, Reverend, and this is your problem right now. Your city has been a mess for the last year. You're letting your mayor torture us, shutting down our buildings, shutting down our jobs. Your governor just did all your religious synagogues, churches, mosques. We couldn't even pray for a few months. You're right, we fought back, we protested, we stood up, we got our rights back. Now your mayor wakes up, Reverend, and says, hey man, we're gonna make all of you, not only that, you can't use your restaurants again. You have to have vaccine passports. The 14th Amendment doesn't even count. What are we going to do, Evan? I mean, he's going to come after us again. Forget $51 million in fines in this neighborhood. Forget the minorities that are not going to be able to go into restaurants or shopping and are going to hurt. Forget the hospitals of the thousands of people that died. We got to stop this, and we can't. We can't stop him. He's out. We're finally getting back to normal. We can't stop him, Rev. Are we lost? Is this city's over? Are we done?
I think there's hope. I think that with some things that can be able to transpire, we have to be able to resist. You know, the Bible says, and the Torah says as well, that if you resist the devil, he'll flee. So we have to be able to continue to stand up and not give in, no matter how much they tell us that we have to do A, B, C, D. We need to be able to just continue to resist and rise up and do it in the right way. You know, sometimes, like you quoted Martin Luther King, they didn't like him. They didn't like what he stood for. He stood for things that was really on a defensive side. But at the end of the day, there's not one person in this world that don't know who he is because he resisted. So we got to continue to just resist.
But look what they did. They killed him.
They
and
killed
he was a
him,
good
yeah.
man. So,
They did.
so we're basically what you're saying. If we do good, they come get us anyways. We're
Well,
dead.
you have a good place in heaven. You know, you have another place that's not on this earth when you do good for the good of the people. And when you have a voice for the voiceless, for the children's children, your forefathers that taught you back and that you remember, then you stand up for what you believe in, you stand up for what's right. So no matter that they say that you got to do this, you just got to resist and continue to go forward.
But as we do that, Reverend, and I love you because a man of God, and I believe in God and faith and all of that, but we are here now. And to make people suffer is wrong. Make our children go to school with masks is wrong. To make women, we can just, change the abortion law if we want. I mean, according to what this guy is doing, the mayor, and thank God, you ex-governor, you are right. The devil gets his due at the end of the day, but he is coming after us, and I see people, Reverend. I volunteer in the hospital. 104 suicides last year. I'm already at 22 that I know of for sure this year. We have more, but I'm telling you 22 that I personally have been seeing and gone to funerals, and I'm ashamed to tell you that I'm sad. And today again, a lady put into the hospital, and I posted a video of this. The family said, no, we want her out, fighting to get her out. They restrained her. She's an old lady. I don't even know why you had to restrain her. They gave her this medicine called Hallandel. What is
Halladol.
it? Halladol. Some hallucinogen. Even if you think she's crazy because she wants to go home, the family wanted her home. Finally, after yesterday's court proceeding, today 4 hours with me and Sawyer and the whole family and lawyers, they finally let her go. At 5 hours later, when they let her go, we saw the whole hand shut up. She died.
You know something you didn't even think about, right? They claimed that she had COVID-19, right? And COVID-19, I don't know what they were giving her, but we don't really know everything about COVID-19. It affects everybody differently. How are they doing something with Halladol? It is such a strong drug. It literally makes a person's body shake.
I got
How
you.
could they give it to
but
somebody
Reverend,
if you have COVID-19?
Another murder in front of your eyes. Forget the gun violence that's running rampant in the city. He has the police worried about stupid stuff when he should have the police protecting us, watching us, not even doing that, standing in the community like you do and say hello, visit us, talk to them. But we're lost, Reverend. And Mr. Edwin de la Cruz over there, who's running for city council, because your city council, you know I lost the election, which is okay. I don't want a leftist city council. I want postpartum depression. You know how little money we get for postpartum depression for women? I have a 22-year-old mother that's very sick because these are things we can take care of. And you, Reverend, from all people know, kids on the street, youth centers, drug centers are not being properly. This is where we should be spending our money instead of homeless shelters where we could do better with the homeless. He doesn't even know how to run it. He has people running the budgets and programs that are lost. I'm not going to scream at your mayor's wife about the $1.5 billion that was lost.
I totally agree. Listen, the mayor days are numbered. It's really, Deborah, it's during the countdown. It really has happened.
So can we ask you the honest question? Who's going to take over? Do you have faith? Now here we talking the man of faith.
I do have
and
faith.
You believe that this city is going to be saved. Go ahead.
I don't think that even with the new mayor, whether it be Curtis Leewell or Eric Adams, that this city will be safe. I don't think that Eric Adams, because everything that we have stood for over the last 10, 15 years, and we got rid of in terms of the crime and in terms of the police violence, in terms of them beating up African Americans and using excessive force in the black community, we got rid of, like the anti-crime unit, we got rid of that. We made some strides. Even after George Floyd, we had some things to put in to be able to make the police and the community together to be able to make sure that can be able to be strengthened. But we have mayor that supports solitary confinement, which is Eric Adams. He supports that. Curtis Leewell doesn't, by the way. But
also, I heard that Eric Adams does want stop and frisk.
He wants to bring back stop and frisk.
Is it now? Is it only for the black community or for
No,
everybody?
it's for everybody.
Oh,
Stop
you
and
sure
frisk.
about that?
Absolutely.
Okay, just want to make
Stop
sure
and
of that.
frisk.
Okay.
The numbers were high of African Americans and blacks, but the second high number was whites. Because the simple fact that the police will just stop you just based off of the color of your skin and based off of any assumption that they can be able to feel.
Now, again, is that allowed? Forget what your law is, and I have my lawyer here. Is that allowed godly wise, but it's not allowed legally? I mean, I'm just not, Reverend. I'm stopping you. I'm touching you. I can't even do that. And here you're letting them grab kids on the street and frisk them and find something stupid, really.
That's
and
right.
Sometimes they can even plan stuff, and you and I know that
Absolutely.
happens every single day.
Absolutely, and that's why I didn't support Eric Adams. Actually, I resisted him. I stopped him and I protested his office, and I resisted him, and we had fighting time just because it's not against him personally, because he's a great guy personally. We have hung out together. I've been to his house. I've been hanging out with him. But it's more so about his principles and where he stands for. And stop and frisk, because he's a retired captain. So he understands where it looked like back in the day. But this is a modern day time. These police has been out of control in terms of using the violence. They've been out of control, giving out tickets.
Abuse of power.
Abuse of power.
And what are we going to do about it, Reverend? Just sitting back?
Well, that's why we supported the bill in the city in the state called the repeal of 50A, and we supported the bill to where an officer can now get sued personally. So now they have to be responsible for costing the city, the taxpayers' dollars on that. So an officer now is hesitant to use excessive force. But under the leadership of Eric Adams, he's going to bring all of that stuff back.
Ezra?
Yeah, just,
Go ahead.
I mean, with the repeal of 58, you got rid of qualified immunity. Now, I'm just, you know, I was a public defender for 18.5 years, and I'm also a career defense attorney. But when you get rid of 50A, the assumption is that the effect on, it's going to have a chilling effect on the police themselves. They're not going to want to do their job at all. There's a difference, and that's the negative outcome. My analysis has been that the bail reform changes, repeal of 50A, all these different changes that have been coming down, to get getting rid of anti-crime together at one fell swoop, you're creating a chilling effect with negative results. It's a great idea, but the problem is it hasn't been implemented properly. You cannot, when you get rid of 50A, cops aren't going to want to go do their jobs.
Let me interrupt you for a second. That is a big problem that we have in my district. That we have right now violence, and we also have lawlessness completely out of control, and the police department is not getting involved. They don't want to deal with it. It is creating a lot of problems, and we have, unfortunately, Deblasio 2.0 in our district that are the government. We have a Mr. Rodriguez right now, who happens to be the councilman, very unpopular, never did anything for them. As a matter of fact, he's a Mozart.
A rat. Yeah, I love that. Look at this.
In a
My
way,
Latin friend
we
is-
have a situation that we have, and then we have an assemblywoman who is also a party person. Not, she doesn't care about the community. It's all about herself, and it's unfortunately a very difficult situation because we have right now mountain bikes racing on St. Nicholas Avenue, on Broadway, on Amsterdam Avenue, all over uptown.
But Edwin, you are running as a Republican in the 10th district. Your city council is 48 Democrats. When you get into the city council, let's be honest, why should any of the other councilmen look at you or answer to you or say, hey, Edwin, we're going to pass your bill? We don't care what you say, you're Republican.
That's okay because I'm running on a Democrat-friendly platform. All I want to do is find solutions. 30% reduction for homeless people in the city of New York.
Great.
Who is not going to back that up? I mean, I want to find out exactly who is not going to, because that's crazy. Then obviously you should not be in politics if you don't want to support me. I support also raising $750 billion. The only candidate in the city of New York who can raise $750 billion is me in 10 years, okay? That would take New York City from the economic disaster that we're about to face any moment. It's called a black swan. So I'm the only candidate. But going back to the police department.
By the way, how do we find you on the internet and donate to your cause? What's your website?
www.teamedwin for New York.
Team Edwin, TEAMEDWIN.com.
No, for New York.
Oh, for New
F-O-R, New York.
TEAM.
TEAM, Edwin, EDWIN, FORNY.com.
Very good.
You need to support me because we have a situation uptown that is Tammany Hall 2.0. And we have a situation that they're deciding who is going to win the elections, who is going to lose. It's just ridiculous. This is no longer democracy. And one problem that we have right now that no one is discussing is that we have a one-party system here in New York. So when you have a one-party system in New York, the Constitution, our civil rights, they really go out the window. Because as we were talking before, you see, what is the difference between North Korea, between China, between Cuba, and the Soviet Union and New York City right now?
Agreed that we need that New York State is a one-party system. It's not good. But I just have one question for, I guess, both the Reverend and for you, Edwin. Crime is out of hand. I mean,
It is, yeah, I agree. I'm 100% on solving problems.
I mean, and the main victims are minorities.
Yes.
The shootings that are going on, for the most part, are minority communities done by minorities.
Is that true, Reverend?
Yes, that is true. Crime has uptick.
Why is that?
Just now, I'm actually just coming from a funeral today where a young lady, you probably have seen it on the news, where a young lady was shot in the head in broad daylight, in plain daylight, and the funeral was today. Last night, there was a shooting right around the corner from our office, mass shooting with 8 people was hanging outside their building and 8 people were shot. A day before that, in Bed-Stuy and Roosevelt houses, 7 people got shot at a barbecue. So crime is definitely out of control in this city.
So my question based on that is, again, over the last year and a half, we basically funded the police 1/6 of their budget, and we've shut down the main their main unit in being able to prevent crime or with getting rid of the street crime unit. So, the question is, there has to be a happy medium. I think everybody, I mean, what I understand, if you ask minority communities, and you know this better than I do, is if they want police presence there, they'll say yes. Obviously, we want police able to, interact with the community in a more civil manner. But at the same time, when you have rampant crime, how are the police supposed to react?
So let me tell you something from experience, and I know what works and what don't work because I've been dealing with this for a long time. Because usually what happens when crime is up, they say they need more police. More police doesn't lower crime. It's just a presence of police that's in the community. What needs to happen is youth centers are closed.
Right.
They're not open. So these young people don't have nowhere to go. The summer camps are only operating 3 days a week. Remember, this is COVID. So people have been, students and children and young people have been in the house. The only time outlet they have now is to go outside. So when I was growing up, my mother used to always say, idle mind is a devil's workshop. So if you don't have nothing to do, you're going to go and be mischievous. So having the police department and saying that I supported the defunding of the police, not taking the money and putting it somewhere else, was taking it and putting it into youth services, taking it and putting it into mental health services, taking it and putting it into the Explorer program and the community affairs unit that's inside the police department. Because if you look at it, they have there's $6 billion. $6 billion the police budget is. They spend $1 billion on marketing. I mean, everybody knew who NYPD is. They don't need $1 billion to market.
Gross mismanagement.
Exactly. So if you could just take an inklet of that budget and put it in your community, in my community, then you could see the numbers of crime going down. People need jobs. COVID, people don't want to go to the school. They don't want to go back to work because the unemployment is still going on, so people are not going back to work, but there's no incentive. They have incentive for you to take the doggone vaccine, but they don't have an incentive for you to be able to get back to work and to get the economy going to be able to lower the crime. Stop utilizing the money on foolishness and mismanaging the money and to really spend it on programs that we know that can work. The anti-crime unit, the reason why I was solely against it, because that's the same unit that killed Eric Garner. That's the same unit that killed Sean Bell. That's the same unit that killed Akai Gurley. So these units that they create in the community, I was the first one to say, all right, you have this unit, get rid of it. But if you want to bring it back to be able to deal with the crime and get the guns off the street, then let these officers be handpicked by the commanding officers, and they know that they won't use excessive force in the community. They know that these are these officers, these are these individuals that we personally know. But to bring back a unit that killed us, that beat us up. Look at it, during the mask mandate last year, you saw in the white community, they was giving out masks when you didn't have one. But in the black community, they was whooping your ass.
Right.
So that's a problem that we have to particularly have. They was beating us up just because you didn't have a mask. A young lady was on the train with a child.
Yes.
She was just because she didn't have a mask, they was gonna just traumatize her in front of her 3-year-old child. So it's the police, and the police didn't want to enforce it. They don't want to enforce. Their job is to be able to enforce the law. They don't want to deal with public safety. So because they don't want to deal with public safety, the best thing to do is beat us up. So my position has always been, give us stuff that works. Don't reinvent the wheel. We have the wheels. Let the wheels turn, but we have to make sure that the stuff that works. But don't stop stuff and start back again and think that we're going to just be okay with it because it's going to make a change. It's not going to make a change until you gut out all the bad police officers that's in the police department. I don't care if the commissioner, is black, white, green. If you do not weed out these bad officers, you will have the same problem in this city, and that's what I'm saying.
Reverend, as a man of faith, and I'm not going to force you into this. You have a million children in the public schools. I don't even want to tell you how many private schools. You don't have to look at your watch, Rev. We're going to let you go. I'm taking you out to dinner. You're not going away from me. You're stuck with me for the next few
coming
hours.
too?
Sawyer, but you can't eat much, Sawyer. Anyways, Linda didn't give me a lot of money in my budget. Rev, my problem here is that we're not educating the children. Now, I understand our public schools are down, but at least kids have a place to go, they have a place to play. Where I believe that after-school programs are not there for us. So the money, we're not budgeting it correctly for our children. If we kept them busy, not only educating after school, lots of programs, not just some stupid gym program. I'm talking have them arts and crafts, intelligence, computer programs. We have a youth center here in Borough Park. We feed the kids. We play pool with them. We have a GED program. Nothing is forced on them, but they have a place to go every night. And I believe not 2 or 3 centers for every neighborhood. We should have one every few blocks. And I also believe, like you said, we should have like a commission, like a rainbow commission of different leaders throughout the city getting together, civilians like us, to oversee the police, to oversee the building department.
Heshy, I like the name. Rainbow Commission.
Yeah, something that we civilians, not elected, each community chooses 1 or 2 of their leaders, whether it's a clergyman or not, and then we have the right.
Well, that's one of the things that we did. I worked with the chief of patrol, Juanita Holmes, in terms of implementing the having clergy, the business people, leaders, the principal, the community board leaders. They choose their commanding officers in the precinct.
Some of your agencies run rampant. Like
that's right.
The building department, no oversight. Department of Finance, Department of Sanitation, we have to call and scream all the time.
That's right.
You're looking at the health department, they come after us and they just get us and we can't fight them and we don't have us civilians to do it. Do you believe, don't get angry, because I know you're going to say yes, and do you believe that we need religion or faith in our public schools, in our children's schools? They can't just come to school all day and not believe that there's a God.
Well, absolutely. When I was growing up, we used to say something called the Pledge of Allegiance. Right. They took that out of school. They took prayer out of school. They took those things.
So it's the city council,
It's the city council, but I have to give credit. I have to give credit where credit is due. Former council member Chaim George, who's a great friend of mine, introduced legislation when he was in the council person to be able to have a moment of silence in schools, to where he introduced the resolution because it's under the state. But to be able to have a moment of silence, and in that time, you can pray, you can do whatever you need to do inside the school. So this is something that it needs, especially during this trying time of COVID. Kids lost their parents, they lost their family members, and they just want to throw them back into school. They have to think about so many stuff going back to the school in September. They got to worry about a mask, they got to worry about, if my friend got COVID, if I wash my hands. It's too traumatizing for a child.
I like that idea. Once again, I like that idea of the moment of silence. But I had an idea, if I was getting to city council, was that each school, no matter what, to have a small chapel. To a Jewish kid, Muslim kid, Christian kid, any kid that when he has his break or recess or he needs a break, he should be able to go to the chapel, whatever religion you are.
Doesn't have to be a chapel. You're talking about a room, just someplace where they can pray.
But if you call it a religious area where you can get his religious feeling, remember, you just can't just pray. You have to have a feeling of God.
You can't call it in the school. You can't call it a religious anything. Once they do that, you know how your governor is.
You
know how
the governor. That's never going to happen because the labor unions will
that's right.
Along with it. The labor unions are the ones.
Heshy, they have separation between church and state, I believe also. I also believe. Look, if you look at a yeshiva day school, as far as like taxpayers, the Board of Education is going to say, it's 70% secular studies and 30% religious studies, maybe more or less, but I happen to believe that if you should say I pledge allegiance, you should have something. It's kind of like a civic duty. I think civilians need to have respect in this country. I think everything is rampant, and they took God. They took God out of government, that He doesn't exist. And you're taking away people's faith, and I think they don't have a right to do that.
I want to go just one more thing. I want to ask the Reverend one more question, and don't get angry at me, Reverend. Let's be honest. We're going to be straight out, Black Lives Matter. You got to explain it to the people. You got to explain why is this stupid city divided? Why are we not? I mean, I grew up in a house where my father's a Holocaust survivor. I grew up in a house where my father and mother sat me down and said, there is no color, we're colorblind. Now, I don't understand what happened to this stupid city in the last 35 years. I mean, I understand we were prejudiced before, but I thought we grew up, Rev. I thought that it's over. I thought that we, the people of the greatest city in the world, we could work together. I had 21 foster kids, and I had black kids in my house, Latino kids, Muslim kids. I understand why, and I don't understand why everybody can't do this. Please explain it to me that why are we still, and I'm not talking about you or me, but there's so many people out there that still believe or still forcing hate and believe that there's prejudice. Can't we just stop that? If we stop that, wouldn't this be a better place?
Absolutely.
And?
I totally agree. But we're in a place where they're not wearing Ku Klux Klan uniform anymore. It's in corporations. It's in, you name it, everything. It's on TikTok. It's on Facebook. It's on Instagram. It's on social media.
Haven't we grown up?
No, let me jump in. Let me jump in.
Religious leaders taught us?
I think that there's the reason why.
I have to jump in on this one.
The
One second.
government.
Yeah, I think that, and I'm gonna let you go, Edwin. I know that a lot of individuals really do not have the understanding of what and how far we came. You have to be able to remember where you come from to be able to know where you're going. And individuals don't understand that because we have individuals that was elected to office that usually you didn't see them in their skin, but you saw them on outside. And their skin now, they're in office, that was in our presidency. Right. And you saw it, how they handle different races. So what happened now is that the Karens come out, the Kens come out. Those people that
Heshy doesn't know what Karens are.
Karens are individuals that is white single people who are racist and will call the police on you and act like they are hurt, act like you are offended by them, and it's happening. It happens over.
I'm sorry.
It does go ways.
The whole woke movement is basically the opposite. You cannot, it does cut both ways. You cannot have a conservative opinion these days and work in any business.
That's right.
Work in any public interest office. If you have any religious background, any religious beliefs, you're shunned in many instances. Even if you're working with liberals and you have their own beliefs, they're going to shun you because you have a religious background. It cuts both ways. It's not a white black thing. It's not a Ken Karen thing. Unfortunately, we have an intolerance in this country that's been getting worse every day, and the fault blows on both sides. It's not a.
Is that true, Reverend?
It's not.
I disagree.
Not just one side.
I disagree. The blacks have been put on the black burner for years, and we have been absolutely. Oh no, even before 50 years, we're still fighting for the right to vote.
You still have the right. You have the same right to vote as I do.
But no, the voters' rights, the civil rights act. You got Holocaust money.
Wait a minute.
You got Holocaust money. We didn't. We still waiting for our reparations.
You want reparations?
So exactly for the trauma that we went to. And your Holocaust was 150 years ago.
Hold on. I gotta make one correction. One correction I gotta make. I'm sorry.
What about Hispanics?
During the Biden administration, even dead black people got to vote. What are you talking about?
Dead people did got to
Sorry.
That's true. That's true. I do that. But that dead person shouldn't have voted for Biden because I don't know what the hell he's doing now. Maybe we was better off with Trump. I don't know. But
the government is implementing critical race theory,
Yes.
which is building up hatred between communities, between races, between females,
I get that.
everybody.
So we all
the
have-
government is building up hatred.
Reverend, we know the troubles. We know the problems out there. We got everybody hating. We got race problems. You're a man of faith. That means you believe in God. You believe in the will to come. You believe that there's a chance to save us. Any ideas? Anything, Reverend? Because I don't have any. I'm lost. You got to say, either you're going to save us or you're going to let us burn. And I don't want to burn because I have 106 nephews and nieces. I have 21 foster kids. I have children, grandchildren. I believe I want to enjoy the next 20 years with them. And the way I see it, and I know you love the country, and so do I. But right now, we need to save our city. Do we have a plan, Reverend? Can you lead us, not to the promised land? I got that. Right now, right here, I need you to save us.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's not just it takes a village to raise. It's not just Reverend Kevin McCall. It takes a village to raise individuals, and you have to be able to be connected to individuals that can be able to be on one accord. And I'm almost certain that, that if 2 or 3 are gathered together, then God will be able to be in the midst. But we also just got to be on one accord. We got to put down our differences. We got to learn how to agree to disagree and still shake hands and eat some matzahs. People don't understand that. So, and then we need
Or
to
some good gumbo.
We need to be able to have people like Edwin to be elected to the city council so he can help us when he gets to the city council. Right, Edwin?
Amen.
Go ahead,
100%.
Edwin. Go
I'm
ahead,
a people
Edwin.
person.
You better tell us how you're going to help us in the city council.
Well, it's such an interesting conversation. And I'm like frustrated because I cannot get in because
No, it's all yours now. We're giving you the mic. And if the Reverend gives you the mic, that's something interesting because the Reverend doesn't let anybody speak.
Number one,
I mean,
we
he
started
lets
about
me
we
speak.
started to talk about.
I'm fatter
He's
than you.
busy.
That's why,
He's
Reverend.
busy.
I lost 80
Busy
pounds in 4
listening
months.
to hear from God. He's a man of faith.
We started from the mandates with our Bolshevik mayor right now, and I'm trying to see if there's a common ground between all these issues and trying to somewhat bring it together for the listeners to understand exactly a bigger picture. Because right now we're just looking at the trees and we're looking at what kind of fruit it has. I'm trying to see if we can find a big tree so we can say, okay, this is an apple tree. This is a pineapple tree. Right now, we were talking about we started the conversation by talking about the mandates, okay? Keep in mind that in totalitarian states, okay, that are communist, that are socialist, they demand you to have a card. Also in Nazi Germany they did. So in order for you to walk around, you need to have a card. You have about approximately 70% of African Americans that are going to be rejected from going into a restaurant if those laws are enforced. 70%. I don't know what's the percentage in the Jewish community, but I know it's a little bit higher in the Hispanic community. But 70%, you cannot go in if you're not vaccinated.
And you're going to let that?
Of course not.
How are you going to
No,
stop
because
it?
this is what's going on. I'm just trying to make a connection between this country and what's going on in this city to North Korea, to Cuba, to the Soviet Union, to Nazi Germany.
Yeah, but I don't care about them. I care about here. How are you going to stop them? Because this is America.
Oh no,
we are free.
we are going to fight it. I'm willing
Your
to fight
city
it.
council now doesn't fight it. They're letting you get away with it.
That's unfortunately we have to hire Republicans. Democrats, it's not going to happen because they both.
You got a big fight on your hand if you get elected because the city council is very progressive than it's ever been. And they are going to give Eric Adams hell if he gets elected. And it's going to be an uphill battle for guys like you when they get to the city council.
Like I was saying before, everybody wants homeless people home. They want solutions. I have the solutions. I'm not there to take money from the landlords, okay? I'm not there to take money from the special interests. I'm not there to get rich on the people. I'm not a politician. I'm just a person who just really pissed off about what's going on. We have to take our city back. The difference between you and I is that I decided to run. I decided to run because I say enough is enough. I'm not a politician. I'm running every day.
He's running every day. He's doing God's
And
work.
I was an elected official. I was a district leader for 4 years,
Okay.
in my
didn't know that.
community. And yes, I was very much as well in terms of being an elected official. I've been a political consultant for since I was 16 years old. So I've been doing this work for a pretty much a long time in civil rights and social justice, and I've been helping individuals, being a voice for the voiceless, and really dealing with the issues that affect black and brown people on a daily basis.
As the Reverend said, Edwin, I mean, as the Reverend said, your phase, I mean, incoming city councils could be more progressive than this one is. We don't know what the mayor's either going to be Eric, and most likely it's going to be Eric Adams, is going to have absolutely no power to stop the city council. So how are we going to change things?
Especially,
but I'm not running I'm not running on a Republican.
It doesn't matter how you're running. It's
Right,
how
it's-
are we going to change things?
exactly.
Okay, how are we going to change things? We need to work together. I need to find I need to find councilmen or councilwomen who actually share the same common belief that I do. I'm not the only one who wants to solve homeless issues.
Will you be able to find? Will you be able to find? Are there 26 of you that could override? Will the Reverend be able to
find them.
come and knock on your door and say, "Hey guys, I have an idea for you," and you're going to help him, or you're just going to laugh him off?
No, I'll definitely work one. I'll come across the aisle and I'll work with the Democrats. I don't have a problem with Democrats.
Who are you supporting for speaker?
Right now, I'm just trying to.
Well, you should think about that, because if you get elected, that's the first order of duty that you have. They have history. They have a point of making history, electing the first black speaker, which or choosing a progressive, or choosing someone that is a white person. So you have to be able to think about in terms of the speaker.
Who do you think Reverend should be chosen?
I think a progressive person. I think it's time for a progressive person to be elected. I also support a black woman being elected, but we had women already, and the city councils is full of them, which has never happened before. So, which is good. But I think if you elect someone that's more progressive, it can be able to put Eric and give Eric a run for his money, because he needs to be able to be challenged. If he doesn't, because he thinks he's a walk in the park right now. He thinks he raised all his money, he crossed over. He used to be a Republican too, and went to the Democrat line, and he got Republican that supported him, John Cassimatidis, and
The thing is, if you're going to go, actually, Cassimatidis is supporting Curtis Slewer.
No, he just did a fundraiser for him in the Hamptons.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes, you see.
Okay, but the thing is,
In the Hamptons, Eric had a red jacket. Vicky Snaps and Cassimatidis did a. I couldn't believe it. I said, "Oh, the Penguin getting together with Eric." I couldn't believe it.
but the question I have is this: you just mentioned you think a progressive person should be the city council speaker.
To hold Eric accountable.
But the thing is, there's going to be no accountability, because the progressives have no accountability anything right now.
Thank you.
They're not accountable to anything. They want to spend money, take money from those who work, close the businesses. We have a very progressive mayor right now. We have the most progressive mayor in America.
Let me just bring a very clear.
He's progressive where? I mean, Blasio, you talking about the same mayor?
No, let's just create a situation where that is everybody knows about. What about the yellow cab, the medallion prices? What happened? We have a situation that we have Bloomberg. He owned over 900 medallions. He sold them all out, and then he invited Uber to come into town, unregulated, to destroy an industry that belongs to the city, a product that was actually put together by the city of New York for transportation purposes.
But those medallions.
But basically, hold on a second. Let me finish.
They're worthless now.
Okay, so those medallions were worth $1 million or more, and he
People
sold them.
mortgage their homes
He
to buy
sold
those
them, and
medallions.
then you had all these immigrants, okay, from India, from Pakistan, from all over the world, even Americans also, because you know what, a medallion is a great investment. If you look at it.
It was.
But if you look at it now, how can you allow, as a city council, all of them thinking the same way?
It was a conflict of interest what he did.
And also, how can the city of New York allow this to happen, having the most regulated industry in the planet, which is the Tax and Amusement Commission, and then putting together Uber with no regulations? How can that happen? And then, you know what? I studied that because I drive a cab also on the side. They sue.
You know you're going to have to give that up when you run for city council. When you be elected, you can't have no other job.
They sued the city of New York. Not true. They sued the city of New York. They sued the city of New York, and the city of New York purposely lost the case, to allow Uber to win.
But the thing is, again, so
How can this is
how's
what
that
happens
gonna
when you
change
have
anything?
absolutely no accountability.
but that was Bloomberg.
No, the city council approved it. The mayor approved it. By the way, also the governor, Mr. Cuomo, was in the bag of Uber as well.
Okay,
They bought everybody off.
understood, but that's called capitalism.
Buying people off?
That's called
That's called
capitalism,
you should know that better. You're a criminal.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's called capitalism when you have competing industries.
There's no
working against-
competition.
But he was
My
in
question-
it. He
There's no
made it
competition.
happen.
There's no competition. How can you
Bloomberg,
compare the yellow cab industry
Bloomberg
and the
made stuff work for him. He wanted to be able to have a third term.
Not
He
for the people,
He
for him.
deterred
You
it.
cannot-
He
you
created
cannot
it.
compete.
He
Uber-
said, "Listen, I'm going to implement it, and not only just going to implement it, I'm going to sit there and listen to thousands of people come to City Hall, and y'all tell me what y'all need to tell me." You got even guys that came to City Hall, pulled down his pants, told him to kiss their behind. He didn't care. He still got his third term. So Bloomberg did was the interest.
Oh, he
his
took his third-
No,
He
he
didn't
did-
get it.
he did whatever he wanted to
he
do.
did things that was an interest for him. He wanted to New York City to be New York City Inc. So his businesses
correct.
that can be able to work for him
By the
when
way,
he's out of office.
So
Talking
he
about
also
business-
set,
talking
he
about
also
business-
set a
hold on a second.
precedent so that when DeBozo came in, he also felt like he could do whatever he wants.
Okay. By the way, Mr. Bloomberg walked into City Hall as a mayor with $5 billion in wealth, and he came out with 32.
I agree with you. Bloomberg,
Now,
Bloomberg made money on that.
nobody should be talking about the stock market going up or down. That's ridiculous. Okay,
No, Bloomberg made
that
money.
is
Bloomberg-
bullshit.
You're right.
I don't care.
Bloomberg made money on the job.
No,
Being
he
the mayor.
made money. I mean,
on the
nobody
city's
is
back.
looking into it. Why is this man not in prison? I don't have a problem with Bloomberg. As a matter of fact, I'm looking for him to be one of my, contributors.
Well, you just,
But-
told-
but
you
my-
just
my-
said you want him in jail while you're in prison. He can't contribute.
There's
He
nothing-
doesn't
The law-
need that
listen,
much
the law-
money for
the law-
commissary.
the law-
You
what I'm
only
trying-
need a few dollars in jail.
What I'm trying to tell you is that the law is not applied to everybody equally. Okay, Hispanics
Well,
and Latino, Hispanics
that.
and Black people, they are unfortunately in the same boat.
That's right.
You haven't said anything about Hispanic, which I'm really disappointed on that because you have only said about Black people and Black people. I understand that. Listen, my first job interview when I got out of college in 1991 was with First Boston, which is Credit Suisse. I walked in, I was ready for the job, I was well qualified and everything. I was giving the application back to me and said, we don't hire Hispanics here. Okay, so this is the door. Get out of here right now, or else I'm going to throw this application in the garbage can. Okay, that was my first interview. Wow. And you haven't said anything about Latin American. You're only talking about Black people. I don't know why, because you know that we have the same
Well, I
problem.
said black and brown. Which
No,
includes-
you haven't said black and brown. You have not
I
said
did
black
say
and brown.
black and
No.
brown. I said several times.
I heard black.
Okay,
said black and
anyway,
brown.
that's unfortunate. And then we have also a history of discrimination against the Jewish community all over Europe, all over the world.
Reverend, that is a
right.
fact.
And you haven't said anything about them either.
You know straight out that mayor, and you heard it, the mayor and governor kept coming after us. Right after the Jewish community, he kept picking on the Jewish community. He made a press conference during the pandemic of October, which is it said straight out where he says everybody should be locked up. And in the middle of the pandemic, he says he comes into the neighborhood, sends 19 people when nobody's supposed to be out, and he makes a press conference in our park that he closed that I opened up. Now, you know the hate. The man is a thief.
Yeah, you would. That's why you're my friend. Because you do civil disobedience like me. You don't listen.
I listen, but when it's wrong, like we said.
Then you take the box cutter and cut the lock.
I love you. And you let them put me in jail, Reverend. You let them put. It's okay. I've learned a lot, but. What I want to stop here is this. I know I was talking to an elder from a church the other day and a few imams. I believe, when we make our protests and rallies, we have a couple of hundred, maybe 1,000, 2,000. Why aren't we getting every religious clergy, rabbi, imam together, get the communities, go to Central Park like the way it's supposed to be, bring tens of thousands of us? Because the mayor laughs at us, the governor laughs at us. Yeah, a couple of hundred people there, a couple of people protesting every day. For them, it's a joke. If we can come out in power, but we haven't. I don't believe. The city has. We do
Bigger than the Million Man March.
We are fighting.
Bigger.
Back. We are fighting back. We are standing up, but we're not standing up together. Everybody at once. Every reverend, every priest, every imam, every rabbi together at once. March and say, "Hey, we've had enough." But I don't see it.
Rainbow Coalition.
I would say that, first of all, the attack on the Jewish community has been far less than none. It should have not happened. You see it many a times. I actually saw a video the other day of just man was in a white truck and he was standing there and this guy just out of nowhere just slaps an old man in his face and it
I
just touched
posted
my
that.
heart.
Yeah.
But I've stood with many leaders in the Jewish, many rabbis, and called and denounced violence that African American has done in the Jewish community. Many times with Councilman Deutsch, with Rabbi Needleman, with many other leaders, with Rabbi Raskin. I even visit the Oil. And
The Ohel is a
That's
special
right.
grave where the holy
Absolutely.
rabbi is. Yeah.
I've
Let's
been
go there tonight.
I've been there, and to be able to ask the Grand Rebbe to for forgiveness, and to be able to make sure that the people of the African American and the Latino community,
Oh, thank you.
And the
God.
Black and the Brown community, make sure that we pay homage to the leaders that was here before us and our forefathers, and it's. But it's the laws. The bail reform needs to be changed.
Thank you.
Big time. I was an adamant supporter of the bail reform, but they slipped in and took some
Thank
stuff
you.
out at the last minute.
That's right.
And what happened is the things that we were advocating for, they was going to do it, but then at the last minute they say, "Oh, right, let's put this in there, let's put that in there," and then Cuomo didn't see it, and then they just sign it off, and then look what now you got OK Corral, where people are just pushing people on the train, people are just abusing people, and they're getting out in a matter of hours and doing the same thing over and over again, and there's nothing that's being held responsible. So when you hear Deblasio says, "Not in my city," when you hear candidates want to
by the
say,
way,
"Not in my city,"
I
how
just-
can you say "Not in my city" when it happens right in front of your eyes?
Because it's De Blasio.
And if you listen to Eric
Reverend.
Adams,
He
he's starting to say the same thing.
Reverend.
If you listen.
Reverend, not one Republican voted for this bill. What happened in this bill is that it was introduced at 11 o'clock p.m.
That's right. Yep.
or at 3 o'clock in the board,
in the
and
morning.
no
That's right.
one even read it
Yep.
because it
That's
was
right.
prepared.
That's
You
right.
understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
1,000 pages, I don't care. You might be Albert Einstein, you might be the fastest reader in the whole world. There's no
That's right.
way you can read this whole bill, and they all approved it as
That's
a group.
right.
I'm talking about, this is like the Soviet Union, the Politburo in the Soviet Union. Everybody votes in the same way.
But the thing,
Okay.
so we all,
Which is the same. Again, it's very important to understand something. I came here to deliver this message. We need a two-party system in the city of New York for accountability.
We do.
Okay. We seriously need two-party, three-party, the independent party. We need support because if we don't have a two-party system in the city of New York, this Bolshevik revolution will continue.
And we need to be
Okay.
working unified.
but the thing is, so
No
the-
matter what color, race,
Thank you.
creed we are, we all need to work
We have-
together for the same
But the thing-
common
But
goal
right now-
of our safety
That's right.
and not being abused by this tyrannical government.
Right now, I'm running against an assemblywoman who's very unpopular, okay? And, from what I hear, which I really don't believe is true, that they have people inside the Board of Elections to change whatever outcome to their favor, okay? And by the way, we have to completely end the Board of Elections and create a blockchain system where people are no longer responsible for counting those votes, okay?
You know what-
Blockchain is very simple. Let me finish.
Nobody should be counting votes?
No,
Why don't
let
we
me
just count-
let me finish. Blockchain is a very simple technology. Everybody has one. Everybody has a cell phone. You wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning during elections day, and you vote. That vote cannot be changed because in order for that vote to be changed, everybody's computer has to be hacked. That's impossible. Blockchain is a very powerful system, and it will definitely start bringing.
I don't know, the
back
Chinese,
integrity.
the Russians.
No. IBM.
City $90 million.
This would cost $2 million.
$90 million.
This would cost $2 million.
I don't trust IBM. They worked with the with the Nazis.
With the Nazis.
This
That's
is.
right. That's right.
I said it before.
That's true, Sean.
I said it. I said.
We only
One
have a
second.
minute.
One
We only
second.
have a minute left, Erin, so I want to just ask you.
No. This is very important. This is extremely important. Please let me speak. I spoke for like
We
less than
got
5
2
minutes. Blockchain is unmutable. Nobody can change it because if IBM is going to change it, it's impossible. Everybody's computer has to be hacked. It is a perfect system for voting in New York City. Right now, it's a much better system than having elected officials hire people to do the elections from the same party.
Oh.
They're all Democrats. All the votes that are going to be cast in my election are going to be Democrat votes, okay? There's not going to be any Republican in the room. Who gives me any possibility of winning in that situation? Nobody.
Well, our show is coming to the end, Reverend. I want you to say, I want you to give us your last word. We're coming to the last of the last minute of the show. So tell us, Reverend, simple and plain in your own fine, beautiful, eloquent words, how we're going to save us. Can we be saved? And do you believe we're going to be saved?
Absolutely. I have hope. You know, I remember reading Barack Obama's book. It was talking about having the courage to be able to bring hope back to him when he became president. And I remember reading this book, and it was about hope. But sometimes, as a spiritual conscience, you have to be able to turn the hope into faith, because faith is without works is dead. And if we believe and we be able to have the faith as small as a mustard seed, we can be able to get through this. We've been through worse. You guys been through the Holocaust. We've been through slavery, 400 years of slavery. You guys, the Latino people, been through things. The Asian people been through things. We all been through something. We have been through a lot. So if we can be able to get over the humps from what our ancestors been through, then we can be able to overcome. We can't be punks. We can't be able to be late bloomers. We have to be able to. The race is not given to those who give up. It's those who stay in the race all the way to the end.
Wonderful. Well, we're at the end of the show, but my last thing is, Hubert, happens to be the reason I voted for Barack Obama the first time, he had the greatest line. To serve your country is not only to be in the military, but to serve your fellow man. And when I heard those words, I was so happy. That's why I go out to the youth centers, I go to the jails, and I believe a lot of the problems are that we're not in the jails. I go every 2 weeks. We're not in the jails helping the people inside when they're ready to come out. And that's another problem that we have. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the show.
Good night, everybody.
Come back next week.